For the incoming administration, I'd like to congratulate the President and his Vice President. I know that the President is a very skillful politician. He needs all his political skills to unite a polarized nation. He needs it, and I wish him well as far as that is concerned. Secondly, the country is rich with a lot of economic experts, economic advisors. There are so much that he should bring them together to help him manage the economy. My advice also to him will be, as President and Commander-in-Chief, to reorient them, retrain them, and reorganize them for this, because he is the Commander-in-Chief. He has to do that because the armed forces had undergone a lot of processes that needs to be put together and make it an efficient, well-led armed forces. In the public service, it needs reorganization, reorientation, and so on. It's by no means a very Herculean task, but as I said, he's a very skillful politician, and he will need all this political skill to bring about to bear on these areas that they are all Nigerians, and whatever everybody does for the good of Nigerians, I think there should be no opposition. It should be accepted. But, and this is a very strong but, there are a lot of mishaps on the process. For example, monetization of the process, I think is not good enough. We should try to avoid that. We should try to concentrate on issues that are good for the country and good for the people of this country. And you judge and assess people based on their credibility, their background. We have to reform the contest. For example, we talked about voter education. But I think we should go further. I believe that we had 95 million registered voters, according to what we have. But those who voted are far less than half of the population. I think if we say, for example, based on what we have, 45 million voters registered, we ought to have at 95 million voters registered. We ought to have at least 45 million, half of those that voted, to be an acceptable standard of. If we don't reach that, I think there is nothing wrong in doing a redone. I also feel there is too much work on Inec, too much burden. When you talk of voter education, you should allow the people, the institutions, whose job it is to educate the people in the country. Inec may not be the necessary body to do that. There are bodies within there are institutions within our country that should be able to provide that education to the voters. So we should allow them to do it. I think it will increase the number of people who are going. This country is blessed. We have virtually answers to every problem as far as human resources are concerned. The economy, I told you, we have the best in the country, so much that some of them are serving other countries. We should tap them, we should bring them and use them to help the new administration redesign the